Liberal Crime Squad is a game with no music and no graphics, but when you shoot a guard dog, it says, "Better dead than liberal." That sums up the game pretty well, actually. Liberal Crime Squad was originally developed by Tarn Adams, aka the Dwarf Fortress guy, so you know it's going to be a very intuitive, easy to pick up game with simplistic menus and streamlined gameplay. Just kidding. In this free game, you play as the leader of the aptly named Liberal Crime Squad. You commit liberal crimes until the people get so annoyed from arresting your teenage prostitutes and hippie drug dealers that they make the things you're doing legal. Or illegal, whichever is more liberal. In case you're wondering, no, this game does not take itself seriously. This is not a pro-liberal game, nor a pro-conservative game. It's a game where you can form a musical death squad armed with nothing but 6 guitars and convince the world of liberalism using the power of rock and roll. There's a political system running underneath this game where conservative scum vote down all your progressive laws, but as you commit more and more crimes and convince more and more people, they start to vote in good liberals and move the laws in your direction. Most problems in the game, like in real life, are best dealt with through crime. Want to show that rich people, have money? Sneak into the house of a CEO, steal his secret documents, and publish them in your liberal newspaper. Want to prove that nuclear power is bad? Break into the nuclear plant and press the big red meltdown button. Want to do away with the Second Amendment? Start shooting people. Nothing will convince people more that guns are bad than putting a bullet through the head of every conservative you see. Eventually, this will result in the Conservative Crime Squad being formed, your arch-nemesis gang of hicks and mail carriers. Kill on sight. This game certainly lacks a lot of niceties that modern games do, like pictures, and the gameplay is fairly simplistic. When you're raiding an area, for instance, you move around on a featureless grid, roguelike style. When you're not in a specific area, the game is entirely contained in menus. But if you're autistic enough, there's some good shit hiding in here. And I think the best way to illustrate what this game is like is to show you a recent game I played. So, here goes. The game starts with a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon style character creation quiz. You can do this all by feeling and end up playing as a fucking Skitty, or look up a guide like everyone else and get to play as Squirtle. Fuck yeah. My Squirtle was named Johnny Mussolini. The names are random, I didn't do that. Born in 1984, Mr. Johnny Mussolini was a born leader. That's because I picked option E on almost all of the Mystery Dungeon questions. So, after raising an American flag for cover and deciding on my liberal slogan, I left my homeless shelter HQ and headed downtown to recruit new liberals from Starbucks. Wait. Apparently, an old friend of mine started a strip joint here in LA. I stopped by to say hi, but the bouncers wouldn't let me in. I went back home, grabbed my AK-47 that I got on my birthday, and returned to the strip club. I missed the bouncers at point-blank range, and they fucking killed me. Game over. I reload my save because I like Mr. Mussolini and decide to devise a plan. I recruit a team of cute older women to act as my aura commanders, with the idea of having each of them recruit a hippie lieutenant. That way, the men on the streets can't finger me when they're caught because they never met me, only the aura buffer. I start to form my first hippie death squad, which is really hard because I accidentally recruited a garbage lieutenant. You see, this game tracks a series of skills which increase as you use them, and which are capped at a level depending on your stats. I had forgotten the fact that hippies are generally very unattractive and have trouble stringing a sentence together. This makes it quite hard for them to recruit more liberals, even if they're other hippies. But I have my commander cover a crack house with graffiti to train his juice skill, and he eventually manages to convince other brain-damaged hippies to join him. The hippies carry mostly knives, and they quickly become masters of disguise by breaking into research labs while wearing lab coats that they got from the local Halloween store. They get so good at this that whenever they get caught breaking shit and killing people, one of them can just yell, "I'm a doctor," and get away scot-free. This even works after breaking into the television station and illegally broadcasting my liberal talk show. "Hey, didn't I just see you on TV?" "Nah, man, I'm a doctor." The squad eventually grows to the max size of 6 hippies while they murder CEOs and commit treason. But after a routine nuclear meltdown operation, the police are waiting outside, and they kill every single last one of them. I could have kept going at this point, formed new squads, gone forward with what was left of my team, but I wanted to try some different techniques, so I restarted. And that, other than the fact that I died somewhat early, is a fairly standard game of Liberal Crime Squad. In case you're curious, my next run involved skipping the time-consuming organization bullshit and just directly recruiting hippies and prostitutes to sell drugs on the street, with express orders to shoot the cops if they ever got caught. That way, they get killed by the cops, because dead men can't snitch. The game, like I said, was originally made by Tarn and Zach Adams, but after they stopped to work on Dwarf Fortress, another team started putting out what is considered mostly official updates. The most recent of these came out back in 2013, but since then, another team has started their own updates, perhaps a little less official. So I recommend either picking up the 2013 release or the most recent update from the other open source team. Personally, I've been playing the newer updates since they add some pretty neat shit like cutting down time to level up skills so you don't have to spend forever grinding that shit. They even added music to the game, though I usually just turn it off and listen to Shea Gorath rap because this shit is fire. It's a fun game if you can look past the very basic visuals and often repetitive gameplay. It's carried a lot by its humor and the Dwarf Fortress-esque ability to create stories. And it's fucking free, so, I recommend giving it a shot, especially if you thought any of this was funny. Smell ya. By the way, new videos are being worked on, and I'm hoping to get videos out way faster than before. The video about anime making people trans is currently in production and is coming. So subscribe for that stuff and to catch the VODs from my Twitch stream. Also, thanks to the patrons from my Patreon. You guys are the best. You're part of the reason I've been able to work one less day at my day job and not immediately go broke. God bless.